All right, so excuse me, I'm going to aim for a 200 raiders this time. Previously, I was one raider shy of having 200. So, okay, it's winter, and I think the raiders, in my estimate, will come in the next spring, not this coming spring, but the next spring or maybe uh, summer. So, but before that, we can discuss how to, to effectively lay out your settlement to have a sustainable and stable economy. So in this case, okay, this mod is a hard reality Scotland. It has a lot of raiders and the, a lot of the traders come in more often. It's like twice every season, but it doesn't mean that this is easy to do or hard to do. This is hardcore. So now that I have 600 population and I have to feed them, I mostly rely on meat, in which I like to do up to 1,000 with this number of population. So since I cannot reach it, so I augment it with a lot of vegetables. Okay, speaking our of the plants, I plant the vegetables on the other side, other half of my settlement down here, and all my grain fields over here, as well as my stables. So you notice that whenever I place my grain fields in this side, I have to place it has to be dependent upon where I place my stables. So I place my stables in this area. I put dried skins and a food dryer so that when they slaughter the animals, it is going to be dried immediately. Actually, I need to put a skins dryer here, but I have no more spaces. But you know, the most important thing to me is not dried skins, but rather raw skins, so that I can have leather, so I can trade efficiently. So when I put my stables here, I need to have some houses so that they can, after the workers can rest immediately, or they can store also some raw skins or meat if the dryers are already filled up, as well as raw skins, and bones, etc. So this is my grain fields, and yeah, I have to put also haystacks close by to the stables, as well as granaries. Speaking of granaries, if I am going to have bread production, I must have a mortar and a herds nearby, and also a brewery, because we can easily have beer. Beer is very important when having large populations to regain morale very quickly. So okay, let's trade 307. So I'm trading all the bones up to like I just leave a couple of them. And I now that I have a lot of tents, I have to retain my dried skins a little bit. Okay, so I'm trading with that, and I can trade my wool cloth. I don't trade. Sometimes I trade my wool, but wool cloth is has more value. All right. So again, stables, skins, food dryer, if possible, skins dryer nearby to facilitate an easy processing of animal byproducts, and houses and granaries, haystack, and also wells so that you can easily feed them. That's the main purpose, is to easily feed the sheltered animals during winter. So yeah, I have two over here and another group of stables here. So I have granaries and everything. Yeah, food dryers, and they are surrounded by grain fields, the same as this side here. And I have houses, I have granaries all over the place, and they're filled up, and I have breweries too, haystack, But if you notice that they always finish off my straw, but they don't starve in the sense that I can feed them with grains coming from the granaries. So I have some. So it's rounded. Okay. So in this way, speaking about defense, since raider are gonna come soon, I normally put warehouse for tools and weapons near on every fort that I build. But this time, sorry, I have to because my defenses are close to each other, so I can place my warehouse in the central portion and some production yeah production structures. So now I have 81% workload because I'm gathering tannin and probably I'm gathering some logs also, and some of them are slaughtering animals, in which case you will see an increase in my raw skins production as well as my meat. See, I in this population I have to set my limit now to, so it's hardcore, set my limit now to 50% to, because I have a lot of grains and my meat production is not you know uh, the dominant source of food. I due to the space, because I don't really remove the wild plants. Due to space constraints, I have to reduce. I mean, reduce my stables up to 405 only. I should have. If I can make like two more stables, then I can rely more on meat, and it's more easier. So instead, I planted a lot of vegetables in this area. So and yeah, during summer they can harvest it. And also, if you notice, I have a lot of uh, what's this iron ore, because uh, it came from the trader. Most, if not all of them now, it came from the trader. I have like 1100 iron ore. So now what shall I trade? Okay, I can trade this one, 190. I need one more bone. So now I have I have to take note of my log production as well as my tannin. I have 292 and I have 180 raw skins, so I can have more leather soon. So 57% is my workload, and also if you notice that these plows are going in that direction, I noticed that when you plant the the, the fields, if you want that to go along that way, so you have to plant it this way so that the plow will go that way. It depends on your preference. If you plant like this and go that way, the plow is going to be into that direction towards the outskirts. So it depends on your preference, but I like them to go inwards because I want them to be closer to my settlement, to my structures. And so I also build a lot of totems because in some instance I might lose some beer production, so I don't want their morale to be very very low, because one time it happened to me that I was fighting the raiders, 170 raiders, and their morale is very very low, so I cannot tolerate that, so I have to maintain their morale. So this is the side of my yeah, grain fields, and they're planting, and I have 95 plows and I have 95 carts, and you will notice I have my 50 goat, 50 sheep, 50 pigs, and these are 25%. So now I have to increase my logs production now because it's dwindling from 200. This map is very nice because there are a lot of what's this, oak and beech trees, that you can have a lot of logs sources. So yeah, when I gather my logs, I just double click and filter out by clicking, pressing shift, and I can remove this chestnut, something like that, and then I can continue like so. Here, why I place this one, I put a lot of tents because it's so hard to maintain with uh, if I am going to maintain my structures with straw. Look at this, my straw is very minimal now. So I decided to put more tents. So if the raiders destroy these tents, then I can just easily replace them. The aim for now is not really to, it's just for more than 600 population, so I can have 200 raiders. Actually, I don't build a lot of tents like this. I maybe one, I build them in big, longer spaces, so that you know the raiders will be delayed. Also, it's a good, it's also a technique. So I put these watchtowers in the outskirts like this, so that I can be warned when the raiders arrive. Okay, so now actually my steel production is dwindling because I want them to have more better tools. So I'm increasing my steel production. And this one. So what we're missing, we have, yeah, we need more. I need more of this. So I need more. Yeah, I'm preparing for the raiders. It's not about the economy now because this is, it's not really that critical or like hard. I already established my defenses, and probably I will lose. I don't mind if I lose like 100 villagers during this raid, this coming raid. Yeah. So my defenses are like this, more platforms, because I want to have more what's this, guard towers, but it doesn't look really good. And also maintenance wise, it's no good. Platforms don't decay, and guard towers need maintenance. In order for me also to save on my stones, I have to put the palisades in front of the walls, of the stone walls, so that they will just destroy mostly the palisades and I can easily replace it. We have infinite source of, you know, uh, logs, 210, okay. So this mode, you need to have two. I already finished the milestones. Give me a second. Okay, I'm increasing this one. When it's high, I don't normally purchase a lot. Like, see, I have a lot of leather now, so it's not even gonna be. It's enough to trade for whatever they bring to me. 40, 50, give me one. All right, so okay, I finished already the milestone, which is, yeah. These other milestones here are not really hard. This one is build 100 stone walls. Mm, this is just easy. More donkey and horses. This one is easy, and this one is a little bit harder. 2 stone circles and 2 cairns, because with the amount of raiders. Supremacy, kill 500 raiders. That's easy. This one is the harder. Reach 500 population. So okay, now my logs are still a little bit, so I have to. So look at that. My food production here and my food supply is dwindling. I want this tip of the curve to be up here, which means that I only have a couple left. As long as it does not cross the middle of this graph, it's okay. So I will not be alarmed. Okay, here I can gather up this logs here. So when you press your number 6 key, and then you will have your idle workers here, and I have a lot of idle one because I have 26% workload, and mostly I don't know, so they're just making bread and just food production and things. So they finish planting, and bonus. Yeah. So this is my cairn, and the other one is there. I make it a little bit balanced, and I have two stone circles, one here. If I chop down all the trees and make a gulag type of settlement, it's easier for me, but I don't want to. I like my settlement to be a little bit more greener. This settlement I'm going to still restructure to at least make it look better. So okay, my burials is in the outskirts, so I have to up my production of steel bars because yeah, just for these raiders. So the good thing with this is the traders arrive twice a year, so you can trade a lot of goods, like especially iron. If you wanna uh, stockpile a lot of iron. Uh, 35. All right. Okay, can give them bonus. So look at this one. I want to take a screenshot of my settlement before during summer because I want to take a screenshot of my 600 population. This is a very hard mode game, so I'm quite proud that I'm able to finish the milestones despite very difficult situation because you have a lot of plants, a lot of stones, but I only have 2 iron mines. I don't exhaust iron mines, no problem with me. This one I didn't even touch. I just place a deep iron mine so I can have knowledge points from it. This one I can upgrade it. There is no tin nearby, and I have only a couple of copper mines here. Two copper mines only, but I don't want to exhaust it, so I have 2 more left there, 4 more left. And my tin is very far, which is over here, and I could barely gather it. This is my tin, and I only gather like 6 pieces of tin, so that's the hardest part. That's the hard part. And also this game starts with nomad, and the starting point for this the villagers are right here, so I have to march towards a long distance to settle in this area because I don't want to. It's good to settle over there, it's easier, but it's a lake. I don't like lakes because I cannot build my hydropower, I cannot build my bridges. The game has all of this, so I want it to be in the game. I also don't make a lot of I only make one oven. Mostly my bread production is using the hertz, and so like using hertz is more efficient to me because it does not. I think it consumes less logs. So I have hertz nearby. Yeah, I have a lot of hertz. So I need, yeah, like this one. If this granary is very far from the grain fields, I disable the grains and flour and things. Although I have some wild plants work area, so I have to cancel. I just cancel the bread production here, so they will not make bread, and they will just eat there. So they will just cook because you have tents and they cannot cook inside. So yeah, I need to have brewery. I don't know why I placed brewery there because maybe sometimes you see they bring a little bit of grain in here. Yeah, they can carry the grains towards there and make some beer. So look at that, my beer is declining because I have 600 population, and uh, yeah. Actually, to make this to 700, I need to add 2 more stables probably. I need my main source of food is not bread but rather uh, meat because it decays longer. Uh, So I don't know when is the Raiders gonna arrive. It's on next summer. Yeah, I'm not expecting the Raiders. The Raiders arrive in 2 or more than 2 years after each other. So you have enough time to prepare things. So look at this. I'm lining up this rock pile because I want to store my iron ore over there. I don't mine anymore. So let's buy the average. When it's on average, I try to buy it. If I have a lot of resources like this one, I have beer. All right, I buy those. 200, 300, 50, 5, 6, 7. So, yeah. So I trade a lot of goods because I can store it and then trade it back. Like this one, I only have 15 limits for this. So I have 30. Yeah. So I'm monitoring now my, okay, I have composite bow. I set it to 100% because I want more composite bow and steel weapons. So I don't mind if my steels are going to be, keep on producing this one. I have 4 of this. I don't know if we can cope up with production because I want them to arm and trade the iron spears. So I still have another thing here. Actually, I can. It's manageable. They can manage everything here now. I have 280 logs. So now they're harvesting at 40 something workload. Let's slow down a little bit to number 3. So when I set up my things here, I put the resources for easy analysis. I put the domestic animals, the transport, and the food graph, which is very important for me. I just glance at it and then I would just go back, oh, something wrong or not. And the defense, you don't need the speed because you can just press the numbers 1, 2, 2, 3, 4 like that, and you can use the number keys in playing this game. You gotta you know acclimatize with the key, like the number keys. They have 5, 6, 7. Mostly the most important thing for me is 6, 7, 8, 9 also sometimes, and 0. And the F keys, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6 is I don't need that. This is F7, yeah, F8, yeah, to analyze the domestic animals, and the screenshot, F12, yeah. Wow, 622 population. And now important F key to me is like F2 to analyze how many pregnancies and analyze my settlers, either adults or olds and children, and how much I have to anticipate things from them. And also F4 for limits. Yep. And yeah, what is F7? Oh, I want to acclimatize with F7. I normally just click in here, knowledge progress. Important thing on the beginning of the game is 8, 6, 7, 8. 8 is for knowledge points. So now you can see that I killed 5,817 raiders. So if I must have, yeah, there we go, we have a raid. Oh, so here they come from this area. Okay, I'm gonna have a lot of what's this, casualties over here. So it's gonna be laggy. So I prepare. I wanna disable the ones over here while they're still very far. Leave couple. Alright, let's set the alarm now. But I have the trader here. Where's the trader here? Here. Alright, let's buy this one. So they did not finish the harvesting, but they can still finish it. Okay, 114. Remember, we have how many? 870. Yeah, it's going to lag when the action starts. So they will destroy a lot of these houses here, you know. So this one, you can see that they are very few. It looks like few, but you know, see they're killing the animals. So they're going to destroy a lot of this. I'm expecting them to destroy a lot of this. Hopefully there are, yeah. Oh my god, this guy. No, you don't need to get over shield. Just walk over there, man. This one. This lady. I wanna save you, lady. Don't. All of that does. And this one too. Come on. No, I want you to have. Yeah. Go there, yeah. So they're going to destroy those houses. Yep. So these two will die, probably. Just ignore them. You can walk. You just walk. They will die. So we had how many? 818 or 817 before, right? So they killed already one over there. I like it when they are, you know, split. The lag is minimal, a little bit minimal. So 800, it should be like 2000 now. 2000, 6,000 raiders killed now. So they're crossing it. So my forces are concentrated there. See that? So they keep on destroying. Look, but eventually, wow, I lost a lot of tents. So now the lag begins. I want them to not accelerating like this, you know. So if they are in groups, the lag is much higher. So we'll just let them do it themselves. So my melee units are facing them here. Look at that, another wave there. Oh, wow, that's a lot. I can see from it, it's a lot. Even if you are in our number one speed. Oh, look at that. Oh. Wow, they're coming in droves. Oh, wow. Excuse me. Yeah, the lag is okay. Saving? No, it's not saving. Yeah, once they kill a lot of the raiders, then the lag is gonna settle down a little bit. Wow, I'm expecting more than 200 this time. Yeah, that's a lot. I lost like how many? Maybe more than 20 already. Maybe. No, not just 20. Wow, I'm fortunate this time. Yeah, I will lose a lot. Maybe my population will drop to 650 because I cannot control anymore. I want them to go back up here, but they keep on rushing towards the attacker, the raider. So I'm gonna lose a lot from 600 something. I had 620. Yeah, you cannot see it anymore. How about this one? I think we not in primal vision. Is the lag is lesser? Or if maybe you can set your screen away. Let's try this. Oh wow, there's still a lot of raiders there. What what kind of raid is this? So I only have like 550 space. So if we go away from that screen, what will happen? We'll see, huh? Yeah, it drops the lag now. Alright. They finish it up? Oh no, they're still coming. We will finish it. I'm not worried about my grains and straw anymore. We still have a lot. So we're going to wait for them until they finish the combat. Yeah. There are still a lot of raiders here. Alright. No, two more here. Alright. Maybe they can still recover it. There's still one raider here. One more raider. So that's it. Okay, Grandma, you rest. So let's assess the sit. Oh, there's another raider here. Oh my god, come on. Oh, two more. So we had 817 previously. So we lost how much? Almost like 70. Okay, we have to rebuild again. I'm not going to rebuild more now that I have the 120. So if we take a look, 817, see? 817. Wow, that is 5. Oh, wow. 5, 3 minus 1, 2, 25. And 10 minus 8 is 225. So we had 225 raiders. That's insane, to be honest, you know. So I have to rebuild now on a lower population. I don't wanna, deal with those things anymore again. We just wanted to have a couple of houses here because I'm going to restructure my. Yeah, it's quite tough when you have those lag, you know. Yeah, so let's analyze assess the situation first before we end this. Okay, we're trading. I'm trading with charcoal. I want charcoals to be always bought, you know. Okay, what do we have? We have a lot of, yeah, see the tools now, they slowly bring it down up, and I can use this trade. Yep. Okay, that one is okay. I can trade this one. So 389 still. Okay, I can trade some of this. Yeah, 589. Nice. Wow. So here is the devastation. A lot of them. So I lost only one, two, two towers, but I lost a lot of people. So we had 620, either more than a 620. So it's like how many? 40 plus 20, so 60 villagers, 60 combatants. Yep. I'm lucky that it's only 60. This side here, if the raid comes from that side, my losses are minimal, a little bit, maybe around 40. That side is a lot, and this one here, because I built a lot of bridges, the forces of the raiders is split up a little bit. So yeah, so they kill a lot of my domestic animals, not much though. So now I have to rebuild. Rebuilding is easy, and since we are in fall, we need to rebuild this one quickly so that when they plant the grains, they can have uh, tents to rest. See, they destroy a lot over here, you know. Oh, wow. Yeah. So when you place those huts, tents in the outskirts, it gives you a little bit of, you know, time to prepare your defenses because some of them are going to destroy this, so their forces are being split. Yep. So the game, this mode works well without the raider. When there's no raid at times 4 speed. Yeah. So that's the thing that I like also with this one. I did like the map because the map is quite. There are some elevated terrain that you can hardly build structures like this one here. If you want to build structures over here, it's really hard. Like the house, you cannot build, but you can build some storage, which I don't need to. Maybe not. See, these are empty space because they are like in angle. So a lot of them. So after the raid comes the blizzard. So once the blizzard ends, we're going to end this one. So this one, yeah, the farming update has made it so that they don't trigger automatically this one to be planted. So the workload is very low because these ones are not being planted yet because most of the people are still doing tasks. Although we have a lot of, yeah, we have some of this. So I think the allocation is like gradual increase or gradual. They make it so that only if there are available workers, then they will do the task of planting like this. So this one, oh, my girl is gonna die. All right, sorry, you fought a very nice battle. Let's see if I can save you. Yeah, sometimes you can save those infected ones. Now, so I'm going to lower my population only to maybe 550, or maybe I can easily defend against 170 raiders with this setup because I cannot play too much with this kind of lag. I mean the lag is really unbearable to me. This one has another one here. Okay, how many? See this one they destroy here, they destroy there. We can build one here. Two. Yeah, I like to build this tents over here so that during planting season of pulses, those who are cold can immediately rest. But look at that, they occupy all of them. So some of them will die. Uh, Look at that, they're cold. We're going to shelter now. I want to recall them by using an alarm. I just leave them like that. They know when they're cold, they have to shelter. So remember that I started from here. I think this thing is like it's not working. This tower, even if I disable it, they destroy it. But this one they don't destroy. So I just put an early warning here. So when you have a lot of population, your problem is sticks. But since you have a very good trees, see it's not increasing. The frequencies are not increasing, nor the immigrants. Immigrants are not gonna come when we have no housing. So, yep. All right.